welcome to the Metroidvania Review official stream. And hi, Nick.
How's it going, everybody?
So last week we just beat Jabbers the Skeleton, which is his official name now, according to Nick.
Well, yeah, it's a perfect name.
And hey, I can use the D-pad in this game. And I've been playing other games. Whoa, what just happened? He was walking to the right for no reason. Hopefully that does not become a pervasive problem today. I seem okay now.
He's tapping into his inner Mario. He just wants to walk to the right.
Oh, nope, I am definitely getting controller lag. Give me just a second. That's a great thing that happened in the first 5 seconds of the review. 1 second. Or the video, I mean.
I think you should just stick with it. It'll give you some extra challenge.
So it's a Bluetooth controller, so it's possible there was like just a little bit of interference there. I just don't know what was causing it. Let's hope that doesn't cause any problems later, because this is not a game where you want to just die. Although you can't lose souls in this game, so it's not a huge deal.
Are there any games where you want to just die?
That's true. But dying twice in Souls-like usually has dire consequences. Not this game, though. Okay, so apparently we're supposed to take that egg to this guy, which is weird because I thought I'd try that. So we're going to do that first. But I think with this item, we'll have most of the, quote, movement upgrades, unquote.
Seems like a weird item to give this guy.
You have been granted 3 knotted tongues, able to grow deep roots that will twist and wring, copying the pain of their 3 mothers. In the name of the High Wills, I bless this relic. Watch over it, for it is now pure and sacred.
Alright, so we have some tongues now, which is good. Best upgrade
Nice.
ever. There's like a little castle in the background. It's kind of neat. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but
That's the Dark Souls castle in the back.
Lordron, or Honor Londo.
Yeah, this is actually a side quel.
A cycle.
All part of the same universe.
They haven't defined it as the Hollowing yet. It's just the Miracle right now. Could be a prequel. Okay, well, we have some money now, with not really much else to spend it on. I'm going to get this because, okay, produces damage above and below the blade. Oh, we can't. Oh, wait, I'm pushing the wrong button. There we go. And then that one's useful, as we have learned. And then the combo has been pretty useful, but we can't afford it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and wait on that. I think if you get the bottom part of this, when you charge your blade, it actually shoots the blade, which is actually kind of nice. Upgrading the projectile will be good, but we don't have the ability to do that yet, so we just need 7,000 souls now.
I don't think that's going to take very long.
No, especially in these new areas. Ouch. And then we need to talk to Eye Nipple Dude, because we have a bile flask and some quicksilver we can use. And he's going to take 3,000 of my souls.
With this
I wonder what he does with them.
I bless the mix.
Wait a minute, it literally just took one of my bile flasks. I didn't notice that was happening last time.
Yeah. Remember you got up to 5, and then you came to him, and it knocked back down to 4 when you upgraded.
Oh, okay, so there's really no reason why I shouldn't upgrade or get those empty bile... So I had the empty bile flask, thinking that that's what I had to bring to him. But it looks like you have to have the full bile flask. Okay.
Yeah, full sacrifice. Are you okay sacrificing 4 down to 3?
Yeah. If it heals more, I think it's a better choice. I had that... I think we talked about this a little bit last time. We had that equipable item that makes it so... we do more damage when all of our bile flasks are used, so having fewer bile flasks is better.
Just make sure you don't get any healing.
Man, I'm assuming they did their math. I'm trusting the developers here. I'm assuming they did their math and it's better to do it this way.
Yeah, I'm just saying, make sure your health goes down lower than it has in the past before you use a healing item.
Isn't this a place where I can refill? Nope. I know there's one down here. I don't know that if I have enough. Yeah, we won't worry about it right now. We'll just keep going. I hesitate still. I'm trying to figure out the fastest way to get there. I'm pretty sure if I go here, I can get a new bile flask, so let's try that. I just don't know if I have enough souls to fill it. I know it costs a little bit of money to do. It's so weird to me that you come down here to get to Grievance and send Ascends.
What, because it's called Ascends?
No, just it's not where it is on. So it's like on the bottom right of the teleport
Oh.
map, but it's on the bottom left of the actual map.
Alright, I see what you're saying.
Whoa! Oh yeah, that's right. You don't take fall damage in this game. Vigil the Longest Night, you take fall damage. Speaking of getting used to playing a bunch of games. So I played an Entitled Story this week, which is a platformer-focused Metroidvania, and then I'm also playing Batbarian, which is very different from this. So every week it takes me about 15 minutes to get used to playing Blasphemous again.
Get keyed in.
Yeah, oh, I also played 3 mini Metroidvanias during our Wednesday stream this week. So that also is capable of changing my... there we go, so now we have 4 flasks. Do I have any more in my inventory before I leave here? No, I don't. So that's the maximum we can have right now. Also, we have the 3 tongues. We need the lungs right now. So we have, we have the ability to walk on, walk through sludge and water without losing our mobility. So there's a couple of secrets we can get with that. I think this way's faster now that we can teleport between save points. I gotta say, I really like this teleport between save points thing.
Well, yeah, it speeds up backtracking, basically.
So a lot of these quests had you going all over the map, and I really think that's going to help the flow of the game to be able to just teleport like that. Arguably, maybe they should have had that be a feature from the beginning. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a smart way to do it. Lock it behind a bunch of currency upgrades, and then that way you force the player to kind of learn the map and explore, but then once they've more fully explored the map, they unlock the upgrade to be able to teleport.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to deal with it. So there are some people who are of the opinion that a Metroidvania doesn't need teleporters at all if the level design is good enough. And I don't know if I necessarily consider it a band-aid fix per se.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's fun running through the levels the first time, does it have to be fun the second time you run through it? I mean, that's basically saying your levels have to be replayable, and I don't think that's necessarily true.
I think part of the argument stems from the fact that Super Metroid is just so tight with its design that things aren't so far apart that it's too much trouble to... Oh, that was a baby. Whoops. Or I guess good. Speaking
like, can you imagine Hollow Knight without any kind of fast travel?
Right. Yeah, and Calderas here. I think he's a supporter of the idea that teleporters, and I agree. I think that it's interesting to have a Metroidvania designed around teleporters. Okay, so this is actually a good example of the new item we just got. Let's go ahead and remove our lungs. I don't think we need them right now. I still don't understand why you can't have all of these active at once. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go.
Did that not start until after you took the lungs out?
So I had to put the gnarled tongues is what makes that thing grow.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay, so in order to get through this, we need to... Okay. So we have the Chalice of Invaried Verses. How this works is that the chalice fills up. I'm just going to put it back for now because we're not doing this right now. Oh, maybe I can't put it back. All right. So without teleporting, we have to kill each of these enemies. This one is in the bottom left portion of the map, or this area right here. So this one should be pretty easy to start with. So you kind of have to figure out a route through the game that lets you attack all of these. Where have we seen this guy? The guy with the sepulcher on his back. I know we've seen him.
Yeah, it was fairly early, I feel like.
I want to say it's up in this area? Like on the pathway towards the main cathedral?
Maybe?
Maybe.
How early was that? That was fairly early, I guess.
Well, this is in the early area. I want to say he's like in this section. I don't think he's in here. Anyway, so there's that guy, and then this lion dude, if I remember correctly, is in an area we haven't explored yet, in this area right here. So anyway, I don't remember what's back there. I can't even remember. I think it might be a Maya Culpa upgrade, which makes it worth it. So, the main reason why I came down here is we've now opened up the shortcut to get here more easily later on.
One interesting theme in this game that I don't think I've seen in other games is the focus on trees and roots. Like there's so many people that get into trees or turned into wood or like bound by roots, and it is a repeating theme.
Now, I think that there may be some biblical basis for that. Like there's always the olive trees and that symbolism there, so they may be drawing from that imagery.
Sure.
Wow, that healed me completely. I gotta pay attention to how much those heal me now. That's totally worth it to upgrade those Bile Blasts. I knew it was gonna be a benefit. I didn't think it was gonna be that huge.
I mean, you're giving up an entire healing item, so...
That's true. Okay, somewhere around here there's a... no, this isn't it. Here, let's wait till this guy turns around. What was that all about? I didn't even know those guys could walk across or walk down off of those things. Alright, somewhere around here there's a place that we can slide into a secret room on the right. This isn't it right here.
You thought he had a green turtle shell, and in reality he had a red turtle shell.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking when I thought he was going to turn around. Let's see. Doing a lot of exploration today. If we're feeling ambitious... Hey, how's it going, Salmes? If we're feeling ambitious, I might try and go for the bad ending. Just to show it off.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, why? Does it take extra work?
Well, I think... I'm not positive, but I think if you do the bad ending first, then you lock yourself out of access to the... Or, I'm sorry, if you do the good ending, you lock yourself out of access to the bad ending. Show off? What am I showing off? I didn't think there was anything I was showing off there. I'm going to check down here just to be sure. I also know that there's a baby over here that we need to get. So getting babies is our next step because that unlocks a Metroidvania upgrade.
Cage babies. You should be able to get that one in the middle of this now, shouldn't you?
Where are you, babies? How do I get on top of that thing? Oh, I have to fall down, that's right. Okay, so this isn't the room. But I think there's a baby over here I can get, so let's go look. We only need 20 babies in order to get the movement upgrade. What's this? Oh, it's the lady. And she just drops Tears of Atonement.
Aw.
Yep, we're kidnapping babies on this stream tonight. Or today, depending on where you're watching from.
It's like Bioshock. I guess those weren't babies, were they?
I get my lungs back on.
Toddlers.
So I'm going to complain about this every time I have to do it, but I still don't understand why you can't just have all of these equipped at all times. And I always hit the B button too many times there. Okay, get that baby now. We just need one more. Do you remember where another baby is?
Well, there's that one in the elevator shaft.
Yeah, we can always just progress the game and... Yeah, I can't get that one in the... Well, maybe I can. I don't want to walk back there right now, though. Let me see here. I'm going to go back in here and explore a little bit just to... Yeah, let's try the elevator one since Salmes thinks it's probably an easy option.
Can you just jump off the elevator, or does it go just down?
As it turns out, that's exactly what you need the babies for. Is the ability to fall down pits. I don't think we've met the guy who gives us the rewards for the babies yet, though, so it might just be worth it to just explore a little bit more. So let's do that. Alright, so we'll just move forward from where we were. I think we can also just go for this bad ending. Let's try that. Let's go for the bad ending. I don't think we're at a point where we can't...
Something tells me the bad ending in this game is going to be real bad.
When I say bad ending, it's the didn't do the secret ending. So, I don't know. Would you consider the normal ending for Hollow Knight to be bad?
I mean, it's worse than the real ending, I guess.
Yeah, so I think it's more along the lines of that in this game. Also, this game doesn't exactly have a positive outlook for...
Yeah, it's not like they're talking about liberating them all from the miracle.
I think the good ending in Hollow Knight is good.
No, it is. It's also hard to get.
We were talking about Steel Soul mode yesterday on the Discord.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, yeah, no, Radiance is easy. It's like... I still use Radiance as like my litmus test for difficulty. Hey, look, it's
oh yeah, no.
Chest Lady.
Take the
Absolutely.
next.
Man, her crown is—that's a heck of a crown. It looks like she took a piece of paper, rolled it into a tube, and then kept little crown things into the top. Yeah, Hollow Knight is definitely my Radiance is definitely my how many Radiance out of 10 is this boss?
I died so many times to Radiance.
Jeez.
I'd be interested to see how well I do today now that I played, 100 other Metroidvania games that are possibly
sure
harder.
I'll get through it easier. Although you still need to fight Super Radiance.
Of course, I took 40 minutes on that one boss in this game, so who knows? Oh no!
Oh.
I'm so good at games. I'd probably do so well on Radiance now. I played so many games at this point.
It was teaching you heroes. I think it's funny that the timing of the brutal takedowns on those guys in particular down perfectly.
Yeah. It seems to be somewhat random. I could be wrong on that, though.
It really should give you something for doing those. Like, what they do in Doom is the perfect, application of that skill.
Yeah.
And in Doom Eternal, it's even more important.
Let's see, what's the best way to get to this thing back? I mean, basically have to do the challenge again, exactly the way we were doing it. Part of me is like, just go get the guilt, or get the guilt absolved, but it's not that far, so just go grab it. Okay, it looks like we can safely just jump down here, so I'm going to do that. Which is what I should have done. I forget that spikes just insta-kill you in this game.
Good old Mega Man spikes.
Yeah. I think that these might give you more Tears of Atonement when you kill them, but there's no, like, visual... I guess I can't use this yet. There's no, like, visual indication of that. Come on, there's gotta be at least one baby up here.
Oh, chomp chomps.
Yeah, they're not very good at their job. Whoops! Except when I accidentally grab a ledge. Stop that!
He was like, oh man, I get to poke you.
I actually think that with... No. So the upgrade for the dash attack said that it makes it have a hitbox above and below the attack. But apparently that's not high enough to get the chain chomps. I'm just going to ignore the chain chomp. It's kind of a waste of time. Yeah, it's true. Well, in the original Mega Man 1, if you're just touching the spikes no matter what killed you, but in the later games, yeah.
When you die in Mega Man 1, does it do the same, like, we do, like the balls going everywhere?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's... I don't think that's changed since the very beginning. Okay, were there spikes? I'm just gonna fall down here. Yes, there were spikes down there. I was gonna jump down that side, but... Yeah, Mega Man 1's not that great. Hashtag unpopular
Well, they were
Mega Man fan opinions.
kind of trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it's forgivable. The thing is I think that they basically just designed the perfect design with Mega Man 2. I know that not everybody's going to agree with that, but it looks like we may need an item from a different area. I keep putting these markers all over the map, just like all these little faces when I accidentally push the button. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can move forward here yet. So we open up a passageway up here, but the elevator is not working, so I guess we'll go explore the underbelly area. Oops. This teleportation is the best. Every time I see that guy, I want to attack him. Rope dude. Rope.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of weird looking.
Oh, there's a secret passage here.
Oh yeah, annoyed. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. More fervor is good, even though I barely use it. Speaking of which, I think I still have that one thing that doubles the cost of spells equipped. Go down. It's kind of I like this. Another thing I'll give Blasphemous is it has a lot of great variety.
Yeah, the enemies are both visually and how they, like the mechanics of the enemy. Fart ghosts.
Of course. I don't even know if sliding actually makes you faster.
If it makes you feel faster, then that's all.
That's all that matters. See, but if it's actually slower, then...
Okay, this enemy had me until she started throwing a second head at you.
That's just way too much, man.
So those are basically the annoying. What are they? No, they weren't too bad. I was gonna say those look like asps from Hollow Knight.
Oh.
Which were hands down my least favorite enemy.
I think that most people will agree with you there. That was a situation where the plunge attack might have actually been good. Who was I trying to impersonate?
Yourself.
No, I don't even think I've practiced any impressions. Oh, hi there.
This sound does not cease. It creeps from these forgotten walls, and no one can determine its origin or its obscure destiny. For the love of the High Wills, silence it, for I have long yearned for it. For the love...
Okay, apparently we're supposed to make the sound cease. I don't remember this guy. No, I'm not going to do a Mickey Mouse voice. That would be embarrassing. There, that's Nick's Mickey Mouse voice. He's taking one for the team.
You're welcome.
Alright, let's kill this guy first before we move this.
I nailed that.
I used to try to practice the David Hayter voice, but Metal Gear, it can be.
I think everybody's got their thing they can do.
Yeah.
Who's David Hayter?
Don't say that.
It kind of sounds like Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh gosh. Poor guy.
That really doesn't make any sense to me. That's... I don't know if that was Kojima or Konami.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if it was Kojima, that actually kind of makes me feel bad, because I want to like Kojima, even though I have a feeling he's got a huge ego.
That's probably an understatement.
You know what? Death Stranding was a legitimately weird and unique game, and I appreciate that he made it.
Yeah, he's one of the few people willing to do that with the budget. That kind of budget. Oh my gosh. Boy, it sure seems like there's a lot of those statues that let you absolve your guilt. It seems like it would be okay for them to have just one of those. Oh my gosh.
And he just wings his book at you.
Well, what would you do if a guy with a sword was coming at you? Whoops. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die here if I don't kill this guy. Okay, the bioplasts aren't quite that good yet.
Yeah, they gotta leave room for the last upgrade. I wonder how many times you can do.
I remember there's a secret wall here.
Man, and the baby is the least weird thing about Death Stranding. I think he's working on a new one, too.
A new Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Personally, if I were him, I would never do the same IP twice.
I think that's a good idea.
I think it's better for him to just grace the world with the next weirdest thing instead of trying to iterate.
I like when it came out, he was like, oh, this is going to start a whole new genre of game. Sure, man.
Okay, what did that do? Whoa! That doesn't help me at all. Alright. I think there's a slight delay here, so if I'm fast enough, I can make it. Don't hit me with your brick, please. Alright, and then does this move this? Okay. I should have used my sword to deflect that. Now I have to go through all this again.
The guy was like, this is great, you should read it! And then he got stopped, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Check out my amazing book! There. Not you again! Oh my gosh, and it doesn't even stop him.
Oh, jeez. I forgot about that guy.
How could you forget? That was like an hour. Save point. I think there might be a boss over here. And that's why there's a save point. Okay, I still have the iron lung on. Oh gosh, they're like explodey heads now. What happened to the, like, weird...
Frilly neckheads.
Yeah, Philly neckheads.
They had to be replaced with electro explosions.
You know, if the electro explosions keep killing them, I'm fine with it. Whoops. I forgot these guys don't get staggered.
What is his weapon?
I think it's a lady.
Let's say it looks like something alive. Or something that was alive.
What does the Amber Eye do?
That is the nicest box. I think I've seen in a game.
I actually have a slot, so I gotta figure out what I want to put in it. Lightning attacks. Increase defenses when... Yeah, we'll get that one. Yeah. I forgot that I had gotten that last time, but I didn't take the time to put something in it. Okay. Heal up again. I just need one baby. Stupid ladder. Okay, these guys are actually easier to dodge, which is good because they're more relentless.
They don't move very fast.
Oh, do I have 20 babies already? Where do I see that? When did I get the last baby? Alright. This is a bad situation.
Yeah, this is getting out of control.
Good thing we're right next to the save point. Alright, I trust you. I just don't remember where we turn the babies in.
Turn those babies in.
Gotta turn those babies in. To the orphanage. Alright, this guy gotta go first.
I like to think that you've got just a big sack of babies.
I just throw it on the porch at whoever wants it. Here.
You get a baby! You get a baby! Everybody gets a baby.
So, in my tax accounting class, we were talking about Oprah and that whole car situation. So normally there's a gift tax on any gift over $14,000. But the accountants over at Oprah counted the cars that she gave away as advertising costs.
So they weren't gifts, they were...
They weren't gifts, they were
giveaways.
expenses. And everybody who received the gift is now getting income as a result of it. So they all had to pay taxes on those cars.
Wow.
Isn't that great? Interesting.
Well, that reminds me of... what was that show called? It's where that guy would go to your house and then he would like fix it all up and make it super fancy and nice. And usually they would just tear your house to the ground and build a completely new one. And then people's home values went up so much that they couldn't afford their
Taxes?
yeah, their taxes, their property taxes, and they had to move.
That's terrible. But hey, at least they have the equity on the home or whatever.
That's true.
But it is kind of sad that they had to give up their dream house. Okay,
I
so
think
this
in
is
later
the-
seasons they actually started giving them money to pay those taxes because it was bad PR that these people were losing their homes.
That's good. Although that's a constant thing, so they would have to increase their income to sustain that.
Well, I don't know. They probably give them a lump sum. Like, here's enough money to pay the taxes on your house for the next 10 years.
Sure. Hopefully they increase their income
Which-
over 10 years.
Yeah, and if they're smart, they'd be saving that whole time, so even after the 10 years. But, I don't know. I think most people probably aren't smart.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of my friends was a financial advisor, and that was his job, was basically helping people who like won the lottery or whatever not waste their money.
Yeah, well, it's... Oh, it's a dead deer. That's what he's...
It's a deer?
Yeah, it has antlers.
I'm gonna have to go back to
Swinging
the
a dead
footage.
deer at you.
More maximum health. We're getting powered up here. Oops. They kind of... it's probably a good thing, but they kind of store a lot of the. Is that a deer?
Look at
I guess
yeah,
it might
look,
be.
look at its antlers on the left. That's its head,
It's weird that it like
and he's
squeaks.
grabbing it. He's holding it. Oh, I can't hear him.
That's why I thought it was like a woman because it was squeaking.
I kind of want to see what the brutal takedown on that is. Like, what do you do with that deer?
Illustration of a femur, tibia. Oops. I don't remember what the trick to this one was. A kneecap. So I need to equip what? So this is the only kneecaps and tibias that I know of. So do we get femurs and tibias here? So there's a femur, a tibia, and a kneecap. I don't think I have any of those if it's an equipable thing.
It seems weird that they'd have it as both a collectible and as an equipable.
Well, I think that there might be. So I have toes, so it wouldn't be completely off base for there to be a tibia and stuff. Did I miss the ossuary? I think we'll just keep going this way in this.
I like that there's librarian ghosts that are just chill.
I'm just glad they're chill. Dope. Another ornate chest. This is gonna be interesting. What's the trick here? I can't make that jump.
Can you send the platform back to the left but jump on the ladder before it moves?
I think so. That's what I'm gonna attempt right now. I really need to stop doing that. No, come back. Let me think.
Yeah, I don't know. That moved pretty quick.
Oh, that flips. Wait a minute. Get out of here. Okay, so I think what I'm supposed to do is pull that to the right and then flip the switch. And then they should both come to the left. And then I can use this to cross after I flip a switch.
Nice.
And we'll go through the door first and we'll come back. But don't fall. Okay, let's see. But what opens the door? So is one of these switches opening the door? That one opens the door. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, I get it. So the platformer has to be on the left. Yeah, okay.
Sure.
No, are you kidding me?
Like, I don't think so.
Get out of here.
The delay between when you hit them and when they die is incredibly annoying.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay, so I have that spell that might be helpful here. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
It's like it hits them, or it kills them in just one hit.
It doesn't last long enough, and I just wasted a... Come on, stop it. Alright, I have to be very careful about when I time this. Oh gosh, it's gonna kill me. Get me! Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, that was how I should have done it originally. Oh my gosh.
That's much easier.
Oh gosh. Hey, I got a laser gun. At least it looks like a laser gun. We're gonna have to try that.
Go laser.
I misread Salmace's text as you can dolt. Oh, that's really awesome.
Oh wow. You just look on it. You can only cast it twice though.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna fall down from there to get that. Hopefully it's like a bioflask. Coagulated ink, what is that? Power of prayers goes up, which might be good with that laser. Let's see if we can actually use the... nope, he moved. And I can reach him good.
Oh, hey, there's a baby right there.
The one that increases prayers? I'll have to check it out. So you can spend Tears of Atonement to give yourself fervor. Alright. If this is 21, then Salmace did count a baby that I didn't count. Okay.
Blackjack.
Sleeping canvases. Okay, so you're saying I missed the guy who trays the babies? I don't see any other exits that I could have missed. Yep, 21. Salmace was right. Hey, how's it going, Silverant? Also, hello, Smudged. I didn't say hi. That painting looks really suspicious.
Yeah, that was... I don't think that could have looked more suspicious. I don't know, those paintings feel out of place in this game.
You think so? Ghost paintings? Ah, there he is right there. That's the guy
nice.
that we need to... Okay, so I was wrong. The lion is actually in the top part of the castle. Oh no. I think. Right, we're gonna use our laser gun on this guy.
Wait, you don't want him to zap you with his pomegranate stick?
Giant pomegranate on a stick.
Yeah, those paintings just look out of place.
Yeah. I remember these pendulums, and I remember them not being happy with them. Come on, I was able to kill all of these. Yeah, you get back in that painting. Okay, I guess I'm going to do the opposite of that.
Jeez.
This is the land of mistimed jumps. This statue looks suspicious, but maybe not that suspicious. You again. Fire at my laser.
Laser.
What? Okay, I was gonna say. They have a different death animation if you kill them with magic. It's interesting. Whoa, not you again.
Favorite.
I can never figure out where to stand with these guys.
He's the lead singer of Aerosmith. That guy's name. The huge mouth.
I remember the cover you're referring to, like the record cover.
It is interesting. I'm noticing the game is kind of following a pattern where it's go to a new area, and then the new area has some sort of spinning pendulum or ghost librarians, or there's always some sort of thing to get in your way.
New
to get
gimmick.
in your way.
Hollow Knight was the same way. You had the bouncing
Yeah.
mushrooms, and you had...
Yeah, but they played differently, I guess. Like, all of these are just about avoiding. Hollow
mean
Knight,
traps?
sometimes you had to bounce on them. They were mechanically distinct.
You don't think this is mechanically distinct? It is just a platforming challenge.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the librarians again, except they're on a spinning hook.
Okay, do I have an item that prevents knockback? Because that would be really helpful right now. Salmace is getting, like, he's like biting his knuckles. It's like, man, this isn't even that hard.
Yeah, the room above this is way harder.
I think there might be a save point up there, because I think this may be near where the boss is.
Okay, when you jump over, just don't let it hit you again. Yeah, see?
Yeah, there's a save point. Yeah, let's go back in there, because I saw a door. I want to see if I can figure out how to open. Doesn't look like the opening's here. Okay, well, we'll do the boss. I'm cool with the boss right now. Oh yeah, this guy. This is Nick's favorite boss.
What?
Because it's like the creepiest boss in the game.
Why is... What's going on with the baby? Is it
Hit
connected?
the baby! Hit the baby!
Is that its umbilical cord?
I think it might be.
Oh, I don't like that.
You know, I never thought about that, and then your mind had to come in here and ruin my life.
That's gross.
Alright, I'm gonna definitely equip that thing that makes my prayers better. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm noticing a weak point in the umbilical cord. Nope, that was a bad time.
I wonder if you can knock those just poop. You might be able to knock those fireballs back.
Think so? They don't really strike me as that, but it's possible.
If they were able to knock those like light balls back on that one boss.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't too hard. I'm probably going to die this time, but... Oh,
I'd like to
gosh.
point out that yet again this boss is following the pattern of take something normal but make it big.
Are you not impressed with these patterns?
No, this is a good boss. I like it. I guess technically, take something normal and make it big. That thing in the background is not normal.
It's just the baby from Spirited Away. Yeah, that boss is pretty easy. What the? He like had a final strike in there. It's a good thing I wasn't low on HP.
That would have been annoying.
Requiem
Oh, why'd he
Eternum.
start? Why'd he start on fire?
They burnt babies, I guess. Not to talk about all of the horrible atrocities that happened back in the time period.
I don't know. They all seem to be pretty cool with this area, or with living here. So
I have no idea where this is taking me. I almost fell down the pit there. Oh gosh, come on, hurry up. Nope. Oh, nope.
that did not go as planned.
Do I have enough for another boomerang? Let's give it another shot. I don't know if I do. I guess I could always just spend some tears to get it.
Apparently now you can exchange your babies.
Alright, that should be enough.
No, there is no fall damage.
Oh gosh. I forgot that the blood platforms disappear after a while. I don't know, they're like the opposite of Mega Man platforms, where like when you step on them, the new ones appear. Alright, baby, come on. What? You're kidding me.
I think it petered out.
Yeah, I think it was just that it was too far away, so I need to stand closer to the edge, it sounds like. Alright. Not that close to the edge. so silent here. Like there's no
Should-
music in this area.
Should go trade in your guilt.
Yeah, I'm going to after a... Got it. Alright, that was worth it.
Baby procured.
Actually, it kind of wasn't, because we already have all the babies I think I need. Hey, look. Okay, if you want to die before I... or disappear before I pick you up. Embossed Mask of Crescente.
Like, I'm out.
Ominous fade out.
I was gonna say,
Inside out, and my smoke is a fog that conceals everything.
Is that guy new?
I don't know. To be honest, the people in the background, like the NPCs, just they kind of blend together.
No, when I say new, I mean like new with DLC. Hey, look, a Maya Culpa upgrade.
Oh, I gotcha.
So is this not the boss that the baby trade is for?
Somebody said you should be able to trade your babies.
Yeah, I just need to find the guy who trades for now, or you trade with. Okay,
So close to being able to afford that 11,000 one.
I think I'm going to save for it because that's actually useful. This is probably useful too.
So basically, kill one thing and you have enough.
That's actually a good idea. I think I'm going to go to the right and try that. I'm apparently not getting those wax droplets in the right order. Okay, so I'm missing the initial wax ball. So close. We just need one more.
Just running around this room screaming at the librarians, "Give me your money!"
Or give me your tears. I'm like the ultimate internet troll.
Oh man, that should be a game where you just go around and try to make people cry.
I'm sure that exists. I forgot for a second why I was coming back into this room. Oh, did they do that in the South Park game? It looks like...
Wouldn't be surprised.
Alright, let's continue this way. Alright, well we got 40 minutes left. Let's see if we can go find another boss or something. That boss was way too easy.
Yeah, I think we're lapsing into the you have too many upgrades and the bosses are too easy as a result now.
The thing is that I mean, I've gotten a few Maya Culpa upgrades, but... And I remember this about the first time I played the game, is that the first part of the game is really the most difficult, especially if you go the route that I did.
Speaking of hard games, I've been playing,
brothers.
Oh, hey, it's him.
Though, I still ask
Wait,
you
what?
to find the rest of them. Please, keep this canvas made from the gold of our faces, and my brothers will guide you.
it's just a painting
hi.
of a bull.
Penitent one,
Well done.
Oh, jeez.
these holy brethren of mine, you have completed the vision of my birth. It was painted on a
Look at
sleeping
its
canvas.
tongue on the left side.
My name being Hothinero, I was born of the moon and of the torment of a brave bull, and of myself by the grace of high wills, my holy brethren.
What an image.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
I'm really astonished that I don't remember this.
Actually, that could be your screen cap.
Oh, for today? Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I want to put that image on YouTube as the first thing you see.
I wonder what this video's about. Oh.
I'll probably just like take this picture of him right next to that picture. Alright, cool. Let's see. We'll take off the silver lung since that's more circumstantial. So the linen of the golden thread allows you to jump off cliffs. So now any cliff is potentially... Oops, that is not the button.
Secret.
A secret, yeah. Not only does that only give me souls, it doesn't really give you that many souls. Okay, I think there's a... Not you. You're the last thing I wanted to see here. Take my lasers. And was that the only thing that was down here? That's very disappointing. Anyway, now that we have the ability to jump down pits, we can now get more babies. And you get a spell from the babies as your ultimate.
A baby spell?
Yeah, it literally is a baby spell. It summons babies, and they hover around you and attack things.
Nice. Just like real life.
Yeah, that's how we use them. It's the only way I can go to the grocery store these days.
Yeah, you gotta go with a fresh supply of babies.
Bringing the babies to the grocery store is a terrible idea these days. They do not know anything about keeping their hands away from their face.
Yeah. Babies are dumb.
Alright, well I see a body there. Just for the fun of it, we're going to go ahead and equip the thing and see what it has to say to us.
I bet it's gonna say something really informative.
I'm
and
sure it's
not
gonna
weird
be-
and cryptic at all.
Totally worth doing this for. Let's see what he's got. It cannot be. I have sworn the candle depicted, or could have sworn that the candle depicted in that painting was lit and that room was gleamed. And could I be losing my mind? That might actually be helpful. Something about lighting a candle. Okay, so what he's telling us is that I think we need to collect all the balls of wax in order to, or at least have them equipped, and then I think that bloody hand means that I need to stab myself in order to open this door. But I apparently don't have the ball of red wax, so I guess we'll have to figure out where that is. I think we have all the movement upgrades now, or the, this game's
All the-
equivalent of them.
Yeah. The gating items.
Yes. There might be one more, but I don't remember if it's important. He's gonna make me fight Fireball Bouncer Dude with this thing swinging back and forth. See
You know what'd be interesting? You watched, remember Mark Brown's Boss Keys series?
You think you should do a boss keys in this game?
I think Boss Keys on really any Metroidvania. Or he did do it on a Metroidvania, didn't he? He did it on,
999. Alright.
I think he did one on Super Metroid.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wait,
did a
he did one
whole
on-
series.
Yeah, he did Hollow Knight too.
And may I done
Wicker
I was
Knot,
like-
Toxic Damage.
I always liked his little visualizations that he made.
So apparently I need to, yeah, I like his progression map.
It's a good at-a-glance way to see how a game is formatted.
So I think we need 10,000 souls before we come back there. Or Tears of Atonement. Call them what they are.
Nah, they're souls. It's like Kleenex at this point.
It's so hard for me to not call them souls, since that's what I've been doing. Even when I play Bloodborne, I call them souls, even though they're supposed to be blood echoes in that game. Whatever the heck that is.
They're functionally identical.
Yeah, basically.
I always thought it would have been a neat idea to have, especially in something like Bloodborne, where you could use your currency to heal yourself instead of those blood vials.
Yeah, I think that... I mean, in this game you can get more fervor back. And to answer the question on whether or not you have to beat the game to get the DLC stuff, I actually haven't looked it up, and I probably should. I was told that that is the case, though. That most of it is only available in New Game Plus. And New Game Plus was something they added as well.
It's interesting they didn't want to mess with the balance of the original core game.
Yeah. So the eye nipple guy, and I just got a Quicksilver, so maybe... Actually, I need 7,000 souls before I can do that, but... Eye nipple guy upgrades your bile flasks by reducing the number of bile flasks you have, but... it increases the amount that your bile flasks heal. And I don't know how to hit that thing without using a spell, so we're going to go ahead and do that. If I can find the page that has the spells on it.
Seems like such overkill.
So yeah, eye nipple guy is basically just another merchant. Alright, so we just got a kneecap. I don't know if that's the kneecap we need in order to get through. Alright, let's see. So we have a tibia, we have a kneecap, and a femur, and a femur. So we might have everything we need. I am so curious that I think I'm going to try... That was this room right here, right?
I believe so.
Just checking my map to make sure I'm not... Let's go check that real quick, because I'm curious. The tibia femur puzzle. I'm not even sure if I have the requirements for it yet. So I don't think you were on when I was talking about Silver Int, but my plan is to get the bad ending before I even start doing anything for the true ending. Hey, Cactuar. Thanks for checking in. Alright.
I think naked guy swinging a dead deer is my favorite enemy in this game so far.
He's the weirdest for sure. Okay, so we have those three items. We can't equip them. So I'm not sure what the requirement is here. Do I need to cast a spell at this point? I don't know. I don't remember. I'll have to look that one up after the stream. Alright, so where to next? I think we've kind of completed this area. I don't really see any other options.
Someone's saying their descriptions have hints.
How do they?
Alright, we can do this. We're smart.
Yeah, especially on stream with all the pressure. Let's see. So where's the femur? That's a fibula. Get rid of everything you'll have nothing to lose. Does that mean we have to have no tiers of atonement? How do you even do that? Because you can't spend one tier. I'd have to stab myself over and over again in order to do that.
Can you sacrifice? No, wait.
Be fervent, that is the secret. I forbid you to move. Okay, I don't really want to kill 1,800 tiers, so I'm going to go ahead and teleport back to the church and just donate it all.
Yeah.
Or most of it. I'll save like 21 so that I can stab myself, because I think that may be part of this. I forbid you to move suggests that maybe I might need a specific spell, like one that freezes enemies, in order to do it. And I don't remember if there's a spell like that, so that may be overanalyzing it. I'm so glad we can...
Yeah. Maybe you just have to hold still while you do it.
I'm so glad we can teleport to places now.
Yeah, can you imagine having to walk all the way back?
Yeah. Well, that's how it had to work before.
True.
We're probably going to have a much higher time than my first playthrough, just because of pausing before streams and etc.
Want extra content.
Yeah. That too, but... I mean, even before I get the true ending, I think it's probably going to be more time. Plus I spent 40 minutes on that one boss. Oh yeah, I need to get the garlic. I forgot about that. Thanks for the reminder.
They can jam that into their wounds.
Find the next planets. The autumn.
Oh, that's the wrong guy. This guy. I think he just gives Tears of Atonement. We'll just have to go donate to the church again.
Merciful be, penitent one. With your contribution, the work of this brotherhood carries on.
And that was a lot of Tears of Atonement.
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe I should have saved that for later. Oh well. I forget what the next upgrade gives us on this thing.
I think it's a skin at 50,000.
I don't think it was a skin. Oh, I think that one of them is a knot, and that was worth it.
There's a skin in there somewhere. Maybe that was 100,000.
I think that's the last one. Skin might be fun. Okay, well we got something just now, so let's go back in the church and see what that was. I'll take a knot.
Is it a garlic nut?
Wait. It made a sound. I don't know what that did, though. Okay, well.
Teased you.
Yeah, I guess so. Actually, let's talk to this guy, I think.
Find the next.
Nope. Alright, well, whatever.
Those two cats have been fighting for a really long time.
That's actually what the miracle has been doing this entire time. Everybody else is just hurting themselves.
It's all about fighting cats.
Yeah. It's the cat war. I need to go to the save point now. I'm not used to going to the save point to teleport now.
What if their god was really trying to help and he was like, alright, I'm gonna do a miracle and it's gonna help everybody.
He's like
But,
a little...
like, he was really... He's, like, not good at his job at all.
He's like a little kid, like somebody fell out of a tree and they're like bleeding everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, try putting leaves on it. Maybe if I poke it with a stick.
Throw a blanket on it.
It's like, oh man, I'm going to have to do another creation after this.
Mental note, don't do that.
I almost spoiled another game I played because that's practically what the plot is.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Incompetent god makes horrible plays.
Oh no, we don't have
There we
enough. We don't have enough tears to to stab ourselves. How many tears does that cost? Okay, that like flings a rock at me.
But now you're not going to be broke.
Okay, I have no idea. We're gonna try this one more time, and then we're gonna move forward, and I'll look it up, and we'll do it better next time. If I can find an enemy to kill. There's one. Oh, wow. That killed him faster than I thought. Maybe I'm supposed to unequip
Right,
everything here.
What should I Google? Blasphemous what? Like, how do you
Blasphemous
differentiate
femur
these from-
tibia, maybe? Maybe this is what it means by remove everything. And it has nothing to do with fervor, and we wasted our time just now.
Here we go, here we go. The corresponding collectible bones have hints, blah, 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 which is, I forbid you to move, get rid of everything, and you'll have nothing to lose, and be fervent, that's the secret. So this guy says he's not 100% sure what worked, but he unequipped all the beads, relics, spells, and hearts,
Oh, I
and
forgot
used
spells.
all of his potions. And I started to hurt myself with the fervor gaining ability, holding down B, and it suddenly opened. So unequip absolutely everything, use all your potions, and then start hurting yourself.
But I don't have enough to hurt myself anymore. But I'll use my potions, I guess.
Oh. Yeah, I think you're probably definitely going to have to get some more points. And then hurt yourself. Unless
You know what? We're gonna move on. I'll come back. We got 20 minutes left. I want to do something more interesting.
Unlocking the secret.
What is it you get? What does he say? Let's see if that's even worth it.
No.
I like how he doesn't even know what solved the problem.
He doesn't even say.
Oh,
Somebody
great.
responds saying that worked, though.
I see. Not the silver lungs.
Oh, here we go. Comprehensive list of what you need to do. Unequip the Mayakopa heart at the preview upstairs. Unequip relics. Unequip rosary beads. Unequip prayer. Hold range to cut yourself and gain fervor, and then stand still for approximately 6 seconds.
Alright, well.
That's a weird list.
Also, who figured that one out?
Let's see. ToeFY on Reddit.
Well, thank you, ToeFY. Also, that was really dumb. I'm gonna go heal myself again. Alright, let's see if we can make it to the top of this thing at least. I don't think we'll be able to have time to fight the boss, but... Squish that head. I like how his entire body explodes after hitting his head. He's like, no! That's my keystone head.
This guy's just get annihilated.
Alright, well, we had the right idea. It was the holding still for 6 seconds that would have messed me up. So each of these masks gives you a little bit more... Okay, so we can't make it to the top today because we don't have the third mask. But now we can go up a little bit more.
And now they get to have their eyes glow. Creepily.
Yeah. Creepy eyes. Alright, let's explore this way. Get to fight Angel Summoner. Whoops. Oh yeah, I forgot he doesn't get affected by spells, which is annoying. It's like spells are already
Kind of nerfed.
yeah, kind of not that great, and then you have a boss that doesn't even get affected by them. Let's get rid of the Angel first. This guy's gonna waste me, it looks like.
This is like the third time they've had you,
Yeah,
fight.
it is number 3. Okay, Angel's down. It's time to get good. Come on. That is not getting good. That is getting hit in the face.
in an out-and-out tank match, he wins.
Well, he doesn't take damage during most of his attacks, so you have like that one opening after he does his attack that you can hit him. Which I actually don't remember from the boss fight. There we go. Mark of the Second Refuge, which we can give to that lady. That's the pathway that we opened. I could fight 2 angels. Angels aren't too bad. It's just that armored dude watches these angels kill me. They do a lot of damage.
They do a good amount of damage.
Oh gosh.
Hopefully there's not another difficult combat challenge.
Yeah. I'm not too worried. If I die, I'll just come back, because this is the way I'm going anyway. Dodging really well there for a minute. I don't even know what a lunate is. Do you know what a lunate is?
Yeah, it comes out of a butcher, I think.
Only butchers have lunates.
The lunate is a crescent-shaped carpal bone found in the hand.
Huh. Well, I don't think I've ever studied the name of all the bones in the hand, so I do not feel too bad not knowing that.
I think those There's a lot of bones in there.
Great. So we haven't talked about lore all day today in this game.
I mean, we kind of did. We talked about, I thought we did. Maybe we didn't.
So, why do you think he has a deer? What do you think that symbolizes?
You know when you're driving on the highway and it's like real late because you went to a wedding? So it's like
a wedding,
1 o'clock in
okay.
the morning. Yeah.
A wedding is a
and,
religious ceremony, therefore it is now...
part of the lore, yeah. And then a deer darts across the road and you hit it with your car, but it's a small car, like a 2016 Prius, and it like totals your car because the deer goes up the hood and into your windshield, and then you're like, oh geez, now I'm gonna have to like trudge through the forest, but I don't have a weapon. What am I gonna use? And then your eyes settle on the deer. So that's that guy's backstory.
Oh gosh.
If
It's official, guys. We'll tell the Blasphemous team that we've figured this part out.
If you want to hire me to write the lore for your game, I am available.
How much do you charge?
It depends on how much lore you want. Like for that deer backstory, pretty cheap. You know, maybe $299.99.
As lore goes, that's pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, lore's expensive.
It really is, actually. And the reason why is because you're normally paying somebody's salary, which is often really expensive.
It does make me wonder, like in these big dev studios, do they have like dedicated lore people? Like that's all they do?
They should, but for the exact reason I just explained, you do have to pay a person's salary, so I can totally understand them skimping on that, which explains a lot.
Yeah. I want to know, is there somebody from that their only job is writing item descriptions?
There must be somebody. You know, I wonder if Miyazaki does it himself, and it wouldn't surprise me. So how much is your premium lore, Silverian asks? For the
Premium
good stuff.
lore?
Yeah, for the good
Hey,
stuff.
you actually can't get premium lore just with money. You have to trade something for it.
Like Jimmy John sandwiches?
You know, that would get you some lore. I can't really attest to the quality of Jimmy John purchases.
Oh my gosh, I just accidentally did another corporate plug. And unintentionally.
Man, I haven't been at Jimmy John's in a long time. I don't even know if there are Jimmy John's in California. There must be.
Oh, there's a few here. I feel kind of bad for them because they've been desperately.
Yeah, I don't feel that bad for them. They, I remember years ago there were all those pictures of, I don't know if it was their founder or their like founder's son, but they had gone and killed like a bunch of endangered animals on a hunting expedition, and they took a bunch of pictures of them. I was like, oh, you're just kind of a jerk.
That's where they get the meat.
That's where the delicious meat comes from.
Yeah.
Elephant. You could taste the sadness.
Bashing Jimmy John's on stream today.
Their sandwiches are good. I'm not bashing Jimmy John's. I'm bashing the guy that went and hunted a bunch of endangered animals.
Alright, so we're running up on our time here. I think what I'm going to do is next save point I'm going to... Oh, it's a Maya Culpa upgrade. Cool.
Whoever makes Jimmy John's lore?
I think it's most likely, like, I think that Miyazaki literally does the lore for Dark Souls.
I mean, is he a writer? I mean, I guess it wouldn't take a true writer.
It's a good thing I had the don't die when you fall in the pits thing equipped.
It's actually an interesting movement upgrade.
I like
Basically
it.
turning... Yeah, because it turns a bunch of different areas into a secret area.
A lot of people have expressed that it's their favorite of the different options.
Yeah, I like them.
This is actually my favorite part of playing Blasphemous, because this part really feels like playing Castlevania to me.
Yeah, I get that. That's...
Ow. Alright, I think I just activated this elevator here. This level's getting a lot more interesting as we're moving along. And I almost fell into the spikes there. Ouch.
In fact, I bet there are Castlevania analogs for most of these enemies.
Maybe. Castlevania has some really creative enemies.
Ew.
I like Bloodstain's giant cat and dog head enemies. I'm not going to say that those are like the most creative thing that they do, but they're funny.
Yeah, they were comical.
It adds nice, fun flavor to the game. Desynced platforms. So when you're designing your platforming game, you have to be very careful about platforms that move apart from each other, because you could have the player waiting for a very long time if you don't time it correctly.
They resync,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm unlocking all these shortcuts, and then I'm going to go finish that one lady's quest. Because I think I can now. I think you only need 3. If I don't, then we're just going to have a very big anticlimax for today.
Right, we already fought our boss. It's not our fault, he was killed.
Yeah. Well, you know, I like to end the stream on a boss, but... Alright, so that lady is... in a dead end. I think at the end over here? Let me just tag this in case I die. I don't know if it tags it automatically, but I'm not taking that risk. So I think she's in this room, and it's called the... well, this entire area is called the Mother of Mothers, so that doesn't help. I think she's in that room, so we're going to gamble. See if that's where she is. Put those crystals in your chest. I can't tell if he's being stabbed with those crystals, or if they like... oh
Yeah,
no, they're in
I
his
don't-
back, and he falls on his back, and then they go through him. I think that's what's happening.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, I think so. We're like analyzing the brutality of this game.
The death animation. I mean, honestly, that's one of the best parts of this game, is seeing the new grotesque enemies.
Alright.
Oh, I forgot about this one.
Yeah, make an offering. And make an offering. I think that's it. There we go. Yep, there we go. Bye.
The lady.
Oh, nice.
3 penitents.
Oh, you ruined this guy's
miracle
show.
cried for her refuge and protection. Those souls for which she suffered have already departed to the other side of the dream. Has the holy commandment of my lady finished? Penitent one, whom shall I watch over now? The lady.
Watch over yourself,
3
man.
penitents that those souls has the penitent.
Yeah. Keep it on yourself, dude.
Self-love. Actually, that guy's in pretty good shape. There are a handful of people in this world that haven't been totally messed up by the miracle.
I don't know what that did. So hopefully we didn't just, like, release the Nemesis. I don't remember what that did. I'm pretty sure I did this last time. And yeah, I think that the director has a big influence on the lore. That games have writers, too. They're usually accredited for it. But oftentimes the director is also the writer, so... which is a role that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, having an overarching concept of where you're going with your story is important.
So is there anything anybody wants to see in the last 5 minutes here?
I don't know enough about the game.
I'm going to go ahead and try this corner over here just because we have a little extra time. I was hoping that would... something would happen there. So there's 2 things I want to check out. I want to check out up here, which I think might be a DLC thing. You want to see the baby again, or you want to just get babies?
Get all the babies.
Okay, so we can't go in here until we figure out what the heck this is. I think this has something to do with the DLC. I don't know. How does everybody feel about that? I haven't looked up anything on the DLC. I've been kind of just going through the game normally. I've looked up things during myself in my first playthrough for certain things. Should I look up what the DLC is so that I can better be prepared for how to get to it, or should we go ahead and try and let me do that blind?
Well, aren't there things you can do that can lock you out of content?
In the original, it was never content. It was items. I don't know if you can actually get locked out of content in... And when I say items, I mean like collectibles and stuff. Nothing that... Like, I don't think you can lose, like, the abilities that let you jump down pits or whatever.
Right.
Someone said in a comment on one of my videos that they preferred watching people play things blind, so I thought that I would not look up what the DLC entailed, so that I could be legitimately surprised when it happens.
I mean, I can look it up, and then if it's something that you conceivably miss, I could tell you.
Well, that was a waste of time. And that poor guy, I just landed on him.
He was like, at least I'm still alive.
You know what? Now that I have all of the movement upgrades, I wanted to see if there was any way I could get up this tower. Let's see. But a lot of games I think would benefit from a dedicated writer.
Well, yeah, most games.
But you're expecting at least, you know, $60,000 to $70,000 for their salary if you happen to hire a writer. Ah, there it is.
I mean, I wouldn't think that at like an indie dev. Although I would think if you're in an indie dev, you can't just be a writer.
If you're an indie dev, you're kind of doing everything yourself.
Some of them have staffs.
Yeah.
Team Cherry's team, isn't it?
I think so.
Speaking of which, when is that supposed to come out?
I don't know. They haven't given us any new information. It's kind of a joke on the Armature Vanguard Discord.
Starting to think that April Fool's thing of it being 2023 or whatever is probably accurate.
Are you... What? Wait a minute.
Wah, wah.
That suggests that you can come down through the top, but where is the top? I know there's an area up over here, so maybe that's what that's leading to. Alright, well, let's head back to the save point. I love the fall down pits power. It's just fun. Poor guy.
You never know. I like they specifically spaced it so you come down on top of him.
I think they did that on purpose. We read that body, right? I'm pretty sure we read that body. Alright, well, that is where we're going to end it for the week. Next week, I think we're going to... Let's see where we've covered. We covered basically everything here. I don't see any gaps there. So it looks like the only thing to do is go get the bad ending. And then, depending on how much time we have after that, there's a whole section up here that we can explore that deals with the good ending. I don't think any of it is required for the bad ending. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next week.